So I'm back again with a read aloud for you. It is March 2021, and in March we celebrate both Read Across America Day as well as International Women's Day. So International Women's Day is Monday, March 8th, but I thought that it would be nice to highlight a few women from around the world who have really been visionary leaders. And in fact, that's the title of this book by Vashti Harrison. It's the Little Dreamers Visionary Women Around the World collection. And we read Vashti Harrison's books in February. We did the Little Dreamers collection. One was about men and one was about women. And we use that to celebrate Black History Month and learn about people who have done a lot for our country and maybe didn't get credit at the time. The same idea is from this book, and I'm actually going to read part of the introduction because Vashti Harrison does a great job of kind of laying it out and her reasoning and thinking behind this book. So we're going to get started. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, just parts of it. It says, when we call someone a visionary, it's usually to suggest that they are some type of genius. We celebrate these people as the best of the best. We look to them as leaders, as beacons of inspiration, and something to aspire to. But getting to that level of success takes a lot of hard work. It can take years of being misunderstood. Sometimes others just can't see the vision that these people are working towards. Some of them are called crazy, others dreamers. The women in this book looked at things differently. They saw things that no one else did. They asked questions no one else was asking, and they chose to do something about it. Often it took a long time for others to understand them or value their efforts. Many were simply ahead of their time, laying the groundwork for others. Through their curiosity and creative thinking, these ordinary women accomplished extraordinary things. Thanks to their persistence and willingness to make mistakes, they had a lasting impact on their fields of study, and some of them changed the world. In this book, I wanted to fill it with stories of creative people, but I also wanted to challenge the idea of what creativity can be. It's a term commonly associated with artists rather than scientists. But both fields require critical thinking and inventiveness. I wanted to see the stories of all of these people in the same place because when their efforts cross over, amazing things can happen. Sometimes art can be incredibly technical, and sometimes science can require a lot of imagination. When I was young, I thought of the arts and sciences as completely different worlds. I knew that I liked to draw and that I was good at math, but never once did I believe that the two could be used together. It didn't occur to me that drawing skills can be used in engineering, architecture, and beyond. I hope that these biographies inspire you to create, invent, imagine, to try new things, to make mistakes, to ask questions. In these pages, you will learn about painters and printmakers, dancers and writers, microbiologists and chemists. The Little Dreamers are here to guide you on this journey around the world through space and time. Let them inspire your future. So you can tell from my sticky notes that there are a lot that I want to highlight. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did for our February read alouds, which is I'm going to read two people in a couple different videos. And I highly recommend that you do your own research on these wonderful women. Obviously, these short little biographies are there's not enough space to write about their whole life. If you have the chance to check out this book, I highly recommend you do it. Or seek out Vashti Harrison online. She's got an Instagram account. She does interviews. She's written some other books. She's an illustrator for some movies, I think, and TV shows. And I'm a huge fan of her work, and I'm a huge fan of biographies. I love learning about different people. In the back, she does even shorter blurbs about people, in this case, women, who she wanted to highlight as well. So I love these books. I love biographies. I love Vashti Harrison. I love a lot of stuff. Let's get started and read some of this. We're going to start with Ada Lovelace, 1815 to 1852, computer programmer, England. It says, what happens when imagination and technology collide? Well, Ada herself was a physical embodiment of such a collision. Her father was the poet, Lord Byron, and her mother, Anne Isabel Milbank. She loved math. Perhaps the combination of her parents' sensibilities was what made Ada so special. Her unique view of the world meant that she didn't just dream of being a fairy, she also knew that she would need to devise a way to fly. Ada grew up during the Industrial Revolution, a time when scientists and artists gathered to discuss new inventions and creations. At one such meeting, Ada saw the mathematician Charles Babbage demonstrate a mechanical adding machine. Ada asked Charles to mentor her, but he turned her down. He was working on something new, the analytical engine inspired by mechanical looms used in the textile industry. To prove herself to him, Ada translated an Italian article about his new machine into English. She added her own notes, making her translation nearly 3 times as long as the original article. She understood that the analytical engine could be programmed to do limitless tasks and described a formula for programming it to calculate a mathematical sequence of numbers known as the Bernoulli numbers. Ada had a vision of a general-purpose computer a century before anyone else would build one. Although Ada and Charles finally worked together, they never built the analytical machine. Ada's contributions went unappreciated until the 1950s, when her translation of the article was discovered. Her work on the Bernoulli numbers is considered the first ever computer program, and made Ada the first computer programmer. Ada believed firmly in what she called poetical science, the synthesis of creativity and technology, and that human imagination could be combined with technology to kickstart the future. So that is Ada Lovelace, 1815 to 1852, and this is the Little Dreamers Visionary Women